Well, all my gamer friends out there, episode 4, and yes, it's the best episode so far this season, just like last episode was the best one so far this season. But I'm going to get deeper into that as to why after the intro. This is kind of the episode I feel like almost everyone was been waiting for ever since this show was first announced. The action that people were kind of looking for in general, this show's finally doing it. Right here in general, and Perez was like a really good. After the opening, we're back to Soren and Halsey in this room, which right away it wasn't really what they were seeing, and it's revealed pretty soon that after the bombs destroy like the tech keeping it around, I pretty much suspected Omen from the start. Soren's just kind of like, I don't know what to say to you right now. I haven't seen you in a long time. After the explosions land on Reach, reveal that it's just basically an empty blank room. The security that holds the room down lets them out, so Soren just walks right through it, and they try to start working on a way to get out. Even Perez have another moment, because, she's upset about her losing her family, and she's just kind of like, don't you get it? Like, do you not understand? Like, I lost someone I care about, and Chief's like, them's the breaks. Right here, it's kind of like, yeah, all right. So regardless of how you feel about Chief not wearing his mask and armor, seeing a human fight a Covenant or Elite is pretty freaking sick. Like, this is a sick ass scene. I actually kind of laughed a little. Like, I don't know about you, but when I'm watching something that's actually pretty awesome, I just start laughing, and I actually laughed because I still feel like if they're Elite, it shouldn't be that easy to kill them with your bare hands, essentially. Some pointless little moment where they end up in some random woman's house who has a whole bunch of old stuff, and then they're just like, you gotta go, and she's like, yeah, I'm good. And Perez is just kind of like, you need to leave. And it felt like a weird moment because it was literally like a minute or two long. Just a moment for both of them thinking, some people are just going to accept their fate. Perez and Chief don't want to accept that, and they're going to keep fighting. She owns all this stuff from like 80s and 90s and whatnot, and she doesn't want to leave. She's saying she doesn't want to leave all her stuff, but she just doesn't want to leave, so she's just gonna basically let herself die. Then another great action sequence of them just, doing lots of straight up shooting. There's a lot of shooting in this, but they did some really neat editing to make it look like a oneer, as in as a long one shot. It wasn't. The editing was pretty obvious to me. Like, it's always cool when you see some kind of action sequence that goes on for a while and either they used editing or they just made it in a one shot, and those things never not look cool. This guy's so big. Like, I'm not sure if they're using some kind of technology or maybe everyone is just really short, but he towers over everybody. I mean, this guy himself is like 6'5" or 6'4", I think, so he is tall. Either hired short people or everyone's like lowered a little bit, and he just seems like way bigger than everyone else. It was cool to see Wrath, at least this season, but Riz's brother takes himself out to help take out the Wrath. So then the midpoint of the season and whatnot is when they come upon Cortana, but then she's stolen, the quote unquote, even though they literally just stand there and watch it happen. And then boring old Mackie shows up somehow and just takes Cortana and walks away. For whatever reason, she just does it. The Arbiter's there to whatever stop them, but I don't know. She is just extremely boring to me. I'm not sure what it is, but this actress does absolutely nothing for me. I'm still unclear as to how she's able to just control the Covenant the way she does, and they just listen to her. Yes, they're back on Reach in like a camp where all the victims of the bombings are, and the small reunion of the trio, though they're still missing Kai, telling us where she is right now. I think she's off with Ackerson somewhere, but they never showed Ackerson, just mysteriously absent during this entire thing. He's the actor, the Keys guy. I actually think he's like really elevating the acting too. Like, this guy in general has been really good this season. I don't know, he seems like he's going for it, but he's not over the topping it either. but I'm not sure if this thing on his face is a scar or just the actor himself just has that naturally. Then nearing the end of the second act, Keyes gives a little speech to hype up all the Marines. He gives a nice impassioned speech, and then he brings Master Chief up on stage, so no one knows who he is because he's not wearing his armor, but they're like the inspirational moment for all of them. He just had that look in his eye of like, yeah, that was a great speech, but I know you're gonna go off to die. There's a moment where they're waiting for the Covenant to arrive, and of course John already is thinking that they're probably closer than they think, so he orders a white phosphorus strike, and white phosphorus is some nasty stuff. Really sweet moment right here when they drop the bomb and reveal that they're right there. There's a moment between Keyes and Halsey, and it's making me again unclear on their relationship. Of course, the battlefield rages on outside. Kind of hard to stop the Covenant. They're just like a wall. They're just going to keep coming regardless of who dies. The Jackals show up. This is the first time you've seen the Jackal type character, the ones with like the shield design still exactly like the game. He's trying to release the gas pipe so they can fly away, but the person who was supposed to do it died, so he goes out to do it to be the hero, and then yes, he goes down as well. Another emotional moment. We lose Keyes, and we're only like halfway through the season. I like the way he does it though. He's kind of baller because there's a gas leaking out, so all they need is a flame. And Keyes just takes out his pipe and is like, "Hey, you got a light?" To the Jackals, which I'm pretty sure they can't even talk. A dramatic, emotional moment. Halsey's really torn up about it. I'm devastated. The city of Reach is devastated. The Covenant are coming in, attacking, and the Jackals are always the easiest one to take out. There's a hierarchy to like the characters and their power. So I still feel like they're taking out the elite a little bit too easier than they would in the games. It's another sweet moment between Chief and this time it's the Arbiter. I believe that's the Arbiter because sometimes it's almost hard to distinguish him between the other ones. Another really sweet combat moment with one taking on one, but this time he's overpowered. Chief's like a little bit kind of almost too. You're never that worried. But another really sick moment where after the Arbiter slices off his gun, he picks up the blade, one of their energy blades, somehow knows how to turn it on. It's like a moment where he just picks up the blade and goes at it. He's about to be killed, but of course, Mackie just shows up and is like, nah, not right now. What exactly all that's about? Other than a lame reason to not kill Chief off. Because, that's how it always is in these shows where it's like they're not going to kill the main person off. So even when they're about to die, something just happens. And this time, it's just her saying, don't do it. They just walk away. It's just kind of weird. That's why this lady just bugs me. Like, tells Arbiter to stop. He just does. So I guess we're done here and walks away. It's a little strange. Also a funny moment where... There's a funny moment where, like, the Arbiter and Chief are about to go at it hand to hand, and then some guy just shoots him. And Arbiter's like, what are you doing? He just literally cuts his own elite buddy's head off. He's like, you idiot, he's mine. Don't do that. A sweet moment where Bannock picks up a needler, and it looks humongous in his hands, but I don't know if we've seen a needler yet, where you shoot little tiny crystals into people and they blow up. Fortunately, that's what happens to him. And then this is the first time like John showed some real emotion, like sees that Bannock is dead. He really like yells and screams and kind of has emotions. The first time you've ever really seen him have any kind of emotion. It's like Chief's like really upset about the loss of Bannock. So then it ends on Bannock just looking straight up, and we see that he's looking up at the sky through a crack in the. He's looking up at the sky at a crack in the ground. Yeah, it's a nice little, dramatic kind of moment, whatever. But I'm not sure if he is already dead or he's like slowly dying and looking at the sky one last time before he goes. Right, and then there it is, showing the sky, and then some bird flying around, and then the episode ends. I think this is the best episode. That was another great episode. And two, it's dramatically better, and every episode is better than the last, I think. So I'm actually looking forward to the next episode. That was really great. Also, while we're here, don't forget to watch my analysis of the new Borderlands trailer, which just dropped yesterday. So it's going off, man. Halo show, Borderlands movie coming out, Fallout show coming out in a month or two. It's it. This is it, man. It's the renaissance of video game adaptations. So let's go on this ride together. Even though my channel has nothing yet, I just love games enough and movies to do a channel just about all that stuff. Two of my favorite things come together and they're being successful. And that's what I love about this. And if you haven't watched this show yet, you should watch it. And if you have, give me your opinion on what you think of this episode and season 2 in general. What do you people think? Let me know below. Comment, like, subscribe. But above all else, don't forget to keep gaming.